We're now going to use the cosine rule to find an unknown length in a non-right angled triangle. So we've got a non-right angled triangle X, Y, Z. Those are the corners labelled with capital letters. So the first thing we got to do is label the sides with the corresponding lowercase letter. So this side is opposite angle X, so that's going to be small x. This side is opposite angle Z, so we're going to call that small z. And this side is opposite angle Y, so we're going to call this side small y. Now, it asks us to find the length YZ, so it's asking us to find small x. Now at this stage you have to ask yourself, are we using the sine rule or the cosine rule? Well, we know two sides and the angle between them, so that's how you know to use the cosine rule. You know two sides and the angle between them, so we're using cosine rule. So what we now do is we start the cosine rule with the lowercase letter that represents the side we're asked to find. So we're asked to find YZ, which is small x. So we start the cosine rule with small x. So we're going to start it with x squared equals the sum of the squares of the other two sides minus twice the product of the other two sides multiplied by the cosine of the corresponding capital letter. So there's our starting point. What we do now is sub all the values into the equation. So we copy our equals sign down. Y is 7, so replace y with 7, and again put it in brackets because we're subbing a number in that has a power. Copy down our plus. We replace z with 12. Copy down our minus 2. We get the y, replace it with 7, put it in brackets because we're subbing in a number that has a coefficient. Then replace z with 12, again it goes in brackets because we're subbing in a number that has a coefficient. Copy down our cos, and then we're replacing the angle x with 42 degrees. Now the good news at this stage is you can type all of this into your calculator, but just make sure your calculator is in degree mode. So grab our calculator. So we've got 7 squared plus 12 squared minus 2 bracket 7 bracket 12, and then we're multiplying by the cos of 42 and close the bracket after the 2, and then we hit equals. So the calculator is going to give us 68.15166. Now this is where you need to be extremely careful. We've just worked out what x squared is. We just want to get what x is, so we have to take the positive square root of the other side. So x equals the square root of 68.15166. So we go back to our calculator. The answer is still stored in our calculator for this line here. So all I'm going to do now is just hit the square root button and type answer underneath, and then hit equals, and that's going to give us 8.2554. And then finally we'll round our answer to 3 significant figures. So the third significant figure here is the 5. Go to the digit that comes immediately after, which is 5 or more. So we're going to round this 5 up by 1. So our final answer is going to be YZ is equal to 8.26, and the units are centimetres because the other lengths are in centimetres, and that's the 3 significant figures.